Good evening, everyone. Today, I'm here with a special edition of my videos. But before I proceed, let me welcome you once again to Eloquent English Enterprise. I'm really happy to be getting a good response from my viewers. And, it makes you feel happy that your work is being appreciated. So please keep appreciating and keep motivating me, keep encouraging me to do better. So today I said it's a special edition. Yes, you remember I had posted a little quiz on English literature and the usage of English language in teaching. So there were quite a few entries, but unfortunately, I did not get an all correct entry so far. But then, since I'm committed, I have promised prizes. So I'll, I'll declare the winners and of course the prizes as well. So I'll first share the answers to the questions which I had posted. Okay. So here we are. I'll present my screen, and here, of course, it's a big welcome to Eloquent English Enterprise. Thank you for attempting the quiz. If you feel that the questions were a little tough, okay, next time I'll post simpler questions, right? So let's see. What do we have? Now, here are the answers to the quiz on English literature and the usage of the English language. Okay. So, what is the name of the poem by Robert Southey, where a bell on the high seas has been mentioned? So, those of you who wrote The Inchcape Rock, you're very right. Okay, it was a bell which was put up on a rock by the abbot of Aberbrothock, only to save sailors from striking that particular rock. So, when they heard the bell, they would sail away from it, knowing that this was a rock which could harm their ships. Okay. So this is the answer, the Inchcape Rock. The second question, social celebration mentioned in Far From the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy, which has now become very popular in India. When I studied, or when we had Far From the Madding Crowd in our syllabus in the 80s, we did not know what is Valentine's Day. So for the first time, we heard about it from Mr. Boldwood and, of course, the leading lady, right? Bathsheba Everdeen. So it's Valentine's Day. Okay. Third question, the Egyptian queen who used unconventional methods to cure diseases, well, that was Cleopatra. You must have heard of Antony and Cleopatra. Yes, she's the same lady. And she used leeches on her body to suck away the bad blood. Okay, sounds very creepy. Yes, it did to me also when I heard about it for the first time. So the answer to question number 3 is Cleopatra. And what organisms did she use? They were leeches. Shakespeare's play, where three caskets play a very prominent role in the story. The play is The Merchant of Venice, and the three caskets were made of lead, silver, and gold. And they were placed by Portia's father so that he could select the best groom for his daughter. So Bassanio gets married to Portia because he opens up the lead casket. He leaves out silver and gold, which usually all the suitors were doing. Then Walt Whitman is the American poet who was an ardent admirer of President Lincoln. And he's written the poem, Oh Captain, My Captain. Okay, when he gets the news of President Lincoln's death, he wrote this poem, which is very famous. Now, the difference between idioms and proverbs, we all know idioms and proverbs are generally used to lay stress on what we are trying to say. Like, for example, it's raining cats and dogs. It's an idiom which says that it's raining heavily. And if I say birds of a feather flock together, that's a proverb, which is literally true. Raining cats and dogs is not true literally. So that's an idiom, but birds of a feather flock together, it is a proverb because it is literally true, and it means that people of the same kind stay together. Now, The genre of novels like Frankenstein and Dracula is epistolary. Okay, you've heard it for the first time. Yes, most of you would say they are horror novels. Yes, they are. But this is the actual genre. It's epistolary. I'm going to explain it next time when I take up my next video. And the figure of speech, like where people are talking in circles or it's a wordy description, it has been used in Harry Potter. It is circumlocution. Like, for example, Lord Voldemort is not, I'm sorry, I really don't know how to pronounce this name. So the Lord, is not referred to by his name. Usually, they address him as he who must not be named. So this is an example of circumlocution. The American writers in English, all of them were American writers that I had put in the list. It's only Alexander Pope who isn't. Okay, D.H. Lawrence wrote Sons and Lovers. Ernest Hemingway's best work is The Old Man and the Sea. Eugene O'Neill wrote The Hairy Ape. Emily Dickinson wrote lots of poems, and this one is When I Could Not Stop for Death. And Walt Whitman, of course, he's written, Oh Captain, My Captain. Alexander Pope was a poet in the Victorian era, and he's written satires, like, for example, The Rape of the Lock. The last question, the British writer who immortalized the character of Rusty, it's mostly his own kind of autobiography because he was brought up in the beautiful valley of Dehradun. So he wrote his own memoirs as Rusty, and I have taught one of his novels, The Room on the Roof, but I couldn't get the picture, so I couldn't post it over here. So Ruskin Bond is the correct answer to question number 10. Okay, so this is the most cherished moment. So who are the winners? Okay, I won't keep you in a frenzy or excitement. The award goes, the first prize goes to Miss S. Vasavi, and the second prize goes to Miss Punita. Congratulations to both of you. And I'll request you to post your addresses to me so that I can dispatch your prizes to you. Okay, congratulations once again. Very well done. I know the questions were difficult, yet you managed to answer to the best of your abilities. Okay, so congratulations to both the winners. I'll be waiting for your addresses so that I can send you your prize. So I owe a big thank you to all of you who attempted the quiz and sent me the answers. I know it was kind of an extra work despite you all being so busy in school and at home. But I really, really appreciate your efforts. So thank you so much for being a part of Eloquent English Enterprise, and more maybe in the days to come. So keep waiting for the next quiz. And today itself, after a little break, I'm going to post the video on the last webinar which I had taken yesterday on lesson plans. Okay, the pre-designed and the personalized lesson plans. So I'll take a short break and then I'll get back with that recording. So bye-bye. Thank you for actively participating. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little, my tongue is getting twisted. Happens. Okay. So bye-bye. I'll be back very soon. Take care and congratulations to the winners and the ones who attempted. Better luck next time. See you soon. Bye-bye. Take care.